solution to this life problem other than God? Because I can't find one. I think about my life and how chaotic it used to be. And I think about how lucky I am that I got out of all of these dilemmas that I willingly put myself in. And because of that, I have a lot of experience that I can use to help other people. Why did you switch lanes? Also, you could piss me off? I'm convinced of that. You just want to piss me off. That's it. No other reason. It's all about you. It's always all about me! Okay? It's okay. I love those kinds of vans. Okay, they use their turn signal. You can't complain. Oh, I can still complain. Yeah. Woman! Women love to complain. Now, if women actually use the intuition that they were born with, they would probably be able to come up with solutions that are even better than solutions that men could come up with, because they would anticipate a lot of things happening, because women by nature complicate the motherfuck out of everything. So women can be used for good. It's just that most of the time their nature is used for bad. So, you know, I've always been a very emotional person. I'm sure you've gathered that if you watch any of this channel. So I find it funny though when people are like, why are you crying? Why are you so angry? Because I'm an emotional person that knows how to keep that shit in check. This channel is like 37 years of internalizations. 37 years of being pissed off and not telling anybody about it. Okay? Because the longer I've lived my life, and I'm sure that anybody that has psychological issues will understand what I'm about to say, is that it's just better if you keep that shit under wraps. It just is. So if you're about to have an emotional meltdown, don't let anybody know. Okay? Broken face. Oh! You got a broken face! I love this song so much. This song is about incest. I know it is. It's very ridiculous. This song is like a minute long. I mean, it might be a really fun, catchy song, but it's really fucked up. Because he's basically saying that, you know, the person that's a victim of this incest that he's singing about can't even talk about it. Where there were eyes, there's only space. I mean, that's a, man. That's a lyric worth crying about, but it's in this really, really catchy song, you know? Now this song is about a gigantic penis, if you didn't know. And they use this song
for like an Apple commercial or something. Y'all remember this shit? And there were all these kids in the commercial. Anyway, sorry, I'll turn it down. But yeah, what were we talking about? I got so distracted. Experience. Yeah, so it's like a lot of people have a bad time living, existing. And if you take the advice of this shit world, you're gonna sit around and curl up with your sadness and just be a miserable sack of shit. Okay? And this is the kind of behavior that enables excessive alcohol and drug use. This is the kind of behavior that enables pornography addiction and internet addiction, gaming addiction, all kinds of shit. Shit, why did I do that? Okay, we're gonna listen to it again. That's the bad thing about having the controls right here, because I accidentally press them and I don't even know what I'm doing. But yeah, like, so I have really, really strong intuition. And I've always been really emotional because I'm an empath. And apparently I'm a Hioka or something like that. In Native American language, it stands for sacred clown. So that makes sense, doesn't it? Well, we're able to perceive other people's feelings and we can read their thoughts and shit like that. It's like being psychic, essentially. Well, a lot of women have this ability, but they use it for bad. So they're like a witch, or they actually become a psychic, you know, like a literal psychic that you pay to tell you your fortune or whatever. So there are ways that you can use this gift that aren't good for society. But these people are talked about in the Bible. You know, that people that have the gift of prophecy, speaking in tongues, all that. We're able to see things that a lot of other people can't see. So it kind of figures that, you know, the drugs that I chose to do were drugs that would expand upon that experience. And the drugs that I chose to discard were drugs that are literally designed to rob us of our humanity, rob us of our ability to cry, rob us of our ability to pee, rob us of our ability to come, okay? Unfortunately, when you have society completely hypnotized by psychiatrists and media and, you know, the social structure and the social programming and, you know, this is popular, that's socially acceptable. You know, when people make decisions about their own personal life, especially medical decisions, okay? This is a really big deal. People that are making medical decisions based on what society thinks about it, like, that is so wrong on so many levels. I can't even fathom just how easily brainwashed people are in this country. But, you know, because I've always been like really strong-willed and really resilient towards those controls, so even when I was being controlled, I didn't buy into it, and, you know, I stopped taking the pills. And I stopped being honest with my psychiatrist. Because my psychiatrist, all psychiatrists are full of shit. Like, their whole profession is being full of shit. Their whole profession is literal mind control that people sign up for. So there's not much that I can do for people that believe in that. There's not much that I can do for people that trust authority figures that do not have their best interests and don't care if they commit suicide. So I know that my experience has helped a lot of people, though. So when people look at me and they see me crying and then they see me wiping my face and continuing to work, I mean, that's an inspiration. Like, you don't have to let all that stuff get you down, man. I mean, yesterday I was not motivated to do anything, motherfucker, dude. I was like, just lying on the floor, studying the ceiling. Now, I had my cat. Of course, I had my cat. So she was there to keep me company. I called Ronit. I talked to Ronit. I talked to Brad. I talked to my friend Peter, my friend from church. But I forced myself to do things that I didn't want to do. So I don't think it's just a lack of motivation. I think it's a lack of discipline. So keep this in mind. Anything that you focus on gets bigger. I know we say this a lot, but we say this a lot because it bears repeating. So if I tell myself there's no point in doing this, that thought is going to multiply. And whenever that thought multiplies, all of the other thoughts are going to be even worse than the original thought. Okay? So it's the same thing if you do something positive, you know? Just getting out of bed, just attempting to do stuff that I don't want to do, that's a step in the right direction. Even if I don't feel like doing it. And I think that's another problem, especially with women. But because everything has been feminized, we can just essentially say that everybody's a woman now. Okay? Because that's how people behave. But anyway, when people say, I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like getting out of bed, I don't feel like eating, I don't feel like taking care of myself. That's why I make these smoothies, by the way, because it's so hard for me to eat. So if I just got some protein I can slurp on, it's a lot better for me. And I also get protein bars and muscle milk, shit like that. So if I'm not motivated to eat, at least I'll have some kind of sustenance, even if it's not like, you know, actual food. But yeah, it's just like knowing yourself. I think most people don't know themselves. And because they don't know themselves, they're being manipulated by people that understand their nature way better than they do. So I just think about how lucky I am to realize these things that I've realized about myself and about the world. And, you know, somebody at work asked me about, you know, just my conspiratorial beliefs. I've been a conspiracy theorist since I was a child. A lot of people that, I'm sure you recognize this one. This is the only thing anybody knows about the Pixies. So this is a song from Fight Club, the final scene. That was a really good scene, though. Well, this is a really good song choice. Yeah. I would expect nothing less from David Fincher. But anyway, what was I saying? People would rather fit in with society and do things that will kill them eventually than be called a conspiracy theorist. Okay? Aw, they're so cute. Look, they're holding hands. They're holding hands. Oh my god. It's the sweetest thing ever. When you see like old people holding hands, I hope I remember that for the rest of the day. I probably won't though. I'm probably gonna forget it in about 7 minutes. But at least I documented it. Right? Are people documenting things excessively because they're afraid they're gonna forget? I mean, that would make sense considering the fact that like everything about this culture is encouraging Alzheimer's. You know? It really is. I was reading an article about that. Like long COVID, like that's essentially what it is. Because it's not just like a viral infection or like a respiratory infection. That was the lie. That was the lie they told people so that they would end up at the hospital and get on a ventilator and then get killed. And I know this because, I mean, this happened to my friend's mother-in-law. And I told her, like, before this even happened, I was like, whatever you do not take her to a fucking hospital. They took her to the hospital, they put her on a ventilator, and then she was dead within, like, I don't know, a couple days or something. So, yes. This is what doctors do to the public. And we've always been, like, very, you know, aware of that. Like, it's more of an instinct thing. So I know that, like, there are people that can wake up. But I'll be honest with you, I get so annoyed with these people. I do, mainly because I've always been this way. So it's like, you want a fucking medal? You want a certificate? Because you woke up? I mean, I don't think it's a left or right thing either. Because everybody wants to make it about politics. Everybody wants to make it about the system. It's really about your thinking. It's really about looking around you and realizing that what other people do doesn't matter. Like, in relation to you. So I'm not saying that your actions don't matter. What I'm saying is that you shouldn't let other people affect you. You shouldn't let other people influence you like that. If you go with yourself and you're strong-willed like I am, you'll piss people off and not even care because you see those people as a bunch of shitheads anyway. Which I know doesn't sound very Christian. But it feels amazing outside, y'all. I think I'm gonna go do comedy at Twin Kegs 2 tonight. Kelsey's father passed away. Please pray for him. He's the black dude with the dreads that's always like, we gonna keep this motherfucker going. I fucking love him so much. What's really fucked up is that, like, his dad was missing and then they found him dead. It's so terrible. And I know that Kelsey's a really strong person, but I mean, that's just the worst news. That's the absolute worst news. I mean, Joey Goodsong told me about it. Because he was like, oh, like he'd been putting up all these Facebook posts about how he didn't know where his dad was, and so bad. But anyway, what happens to me when I think about other people's pain and shit, it's like, why would anybody think that's bad? That you, like, cry about somebody else's suffering?
Why is that bad? Why would you need to medicate that? I mean, unless like you're making it somebody else's problem, and that's the issue with women, is like they make their emotions everybody else's problem. And like, I don't fall for that shit. Because I understand women's nature. And I understand that they don't understand it. Then that's why they trust psychiatrists and therapists and all that. That's why they trust a fucking psychic reading and a fucking horoscope, you know? It's like, they're obsessed with horoscopes so they don't have to work on themselves. So they can just be like, it's in the stars, you know? I mean, it's not like there's no truth to any of that. But, like I've said, they use it for demonic purposes. And if they use it for demonic purposes, like, then you just basically took the gift that God gave you and shat all over it, okay? Oh my God. I just found the clary sage. This will balance you out. If women started using shit like this, they wouldn't need pills anymore. But anyway, I really do feel for people though. And I feel for women as much as I complain about them. I feel for them because they don't know any better. The ones that know better always flock to me and actually take my advice. But I've definitely had the experience of, you know, women that claim that they want what I have, but they don't want to do what I did to get it. So they complain about all their psychological shit, but they don't want to actually have to work to feel better. You have to find it within yourself or it's not going to mean anything, girlfriend. That's why you're such a fake, flaky bitch, because you're like expecting... Yes, we take them everywhere. I wasn't joking about that. Ooh, it's like not busy at all. That's awesome. It'll probably get busy in about 20 minutes, but it's not busy right now, so I can just kind of chill. But, yeah, I'm here for women. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. Women want to hear that they're victims. If you're a victim of anything, it's a system that's indoctrinated you to believe that you're a victim. And you don't have to tell me that people get screwed over by the system. Trust me, we know. I mean, I'm adopted, so that's why I know a lot of stuff that I know about the system, because it's like, I see it completely screwing over, especially white men, especially loving, devoted fathers. But the whole point of it isn't just to screw over men. The point of it is to screw over the children. If people thought about the children, I mean, nobody would have a smartphone if they thought about children. I'm just telling you that right now. If they actually really cared about kids, they would want to be an example for them.